What's up, Lydia? What's up, Sean? Lydia,
What's up?
wait a minute. Lydia, what were you getting ready to say?
Nothing. I forget. Something's going on in my house.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. All right, best part about being unscripted. That's my opinion.
You get what you get.
Yeah, that's true.
As long as nobody walks by unsanitarily.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm not even, you know what? I'm not even going to call out any names about, any professionals or anything like that have been exposed literally on Zoom. So, yeah, I'm just going to leave that right there. But I thought it would be cool if we just focused on current events. So we'll just go with the flow and see where we end up. So with that being said, I want to know, we have already previously on a couple of segments, we talked about civil unrest. Well, now I'm at a point to where I think it's a real possibility on a bigger scale, not just small little incidents here and there, but I think it could be a bigger problem than what a lot of us are anticipating. So I can either tell you guys why I think that, or we can just go around and see. Yeah, we'll just go around and see where you guys stand at, where your thoughts are. So what do you guys think about that? Lydia?
Well, I kind of want to know why you think that, though.
Oh, okay. Sean?
All right, so there's a lot of talk about things like civil war and all that stuff on the internet, and you have people that are fired up because they believe the propaganda that's going around. Do I think that there's going to be any types of civil unrest? Yeah, I mean, there is going to be some types of civil unrest, but I don't think it's going to be a wide-scale country-wide thing for a couple of reasons. One of them that's really, really, really important, in my opinion, is the fact that as Americans, we're lazy. Okay, we like to talk a lot of game, but people don't want to get off their couches away from the comforts of their home. It's only going to be the people that are like extremists, in my opinion, that are going to go out and do things. Maybe. I feel like a lot of people are worked up. I feel like there will be pockets, like I stated before, but I don't think that, if you're living in, like New Jersey or whatever, you're going to just be walking down the streets and people are going to be shooting each other or something like that. I don't think that that's going to be an issue at all. This is not a race. I mean, it has something to do with race, but it's not like a civil rights particular issue. So people aren't going to just on site identify who they want to attack or whatever. It's an ideological kind of thing. So to say, the Republicans and the Democrats are going to go to war, how do you walk down the street? I mean, like, we don't fly flags out of our back pockets. I think that it's going to be more on a governmental level, and if people want to try the government, then they have tanks and bazookas and shit.
Right.
And I disagree. I don't think it's going to be nationwide, like 7 states going up against 7 other states, but I think it's going to start with protests. And the reason I think it's going to get out of hand are for 2 primary reasons. The first one being Michael Flynn. Although there are a lot of veterans that do not support Donald Trump, there are a lot of veterans that do. The biggest reason are the number of police officers, units, forces that support Donald Trump. I never expected this man, he's not even a man. I never expected this thing to go as far as he's gone. But one thing, before I actually thought he would leave peacefully, I never saw things being where they are now. And I do believe that it's going to get out of hand. And I also believe that Black people and people of color are going to be in jeopardy, especially if they go out and protest, or if they go out, they show enthusiasm like they did when, Joe Biden won, the amount of people that showed up. I just personally, now, I don't see it being one little small minor incident here or there. And just because I like to do my homework, I have not done my research to find out how many other states have protests planned. But in Wisconsin, and we all know what the gun laws are like in Wisconsin, they have protests scheduled this week, next week. You guys saw what somebody said, what somebody wrote on social media about. So personally, I no longer think that it's going to be small anymore. I wanted to give Lydia a chance.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Lydia.
So, okay, I wanted to get where you were coming from because I wanted to get a full reason. Because I have not been tuned in to the news for the past couple of days. But I will tell you, my overall opinion is it's only going to be so much they can do before the National Guard steps in. You might have police that are supporting these protests, but once you throw the National Guard, they don't care about what you want.
So you're talking about after Joe Biden comes in.
Yeah, but you see, that's why on our other podcast, I was saying we have to make it to January 20th first before we do anything.
So yeah, January, I'm not worried about when Joe Biden comes in because he'll be the commander in chief. So that's different. Do you really see Donald Trump? Do you see him activating them to stop any protests going on against people that don't support him? Do you see that happening, Lydia? Do you think he would do that?
I don't see him doing that, but I do think that it can only get so far. I don't think it's going to get as bad as people are worried they're going to be. I mean, I know that there are plans to basically mess up the inauguration. Well,
I'm not even worried about that. You know why?
Yeah, I know.
There's not going to be not going to be anybody there.
Right. Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah. So I'm not. Yeah.
And the thing is, in order for something to be successful, a successful coup to happen, a successful social disruption to happen, they have to be organized. They have to be organized. And they have not been able to do that. The only thing they can agree on is they want Trump in office and they believe it's rigged. But that's it. They're not going to be able to organize in order to push their agenda forward. And that's what, that's to me, I think it's just going to be swells here. Yeah, a couple of people got stabbed. Oh, yeah, they lit a church on fire. No, but we expected that. We expected that. But there's going to be stuff happening, but it's not going to get completely out of control. I don't think it's going to be like widespread bad. Personally, that's my opinion.
Sean?
I'm like in the middle of you guys. When I say that there's going to be conflagrations that happen in portions, I'm talking about places like Wisconsin and Portland and DC. I'm
Right.
talking about places like that, but what I'm actually stating is that I don't think it's going to be a countrywide issue.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Most people are going to be away from it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
But I do expect more violence than what Lydia is saying. But
Me too.
Here's the thing: is that the state governors are going to call in the National Guard and rein that in themselves. We don't need to worry about Donald Trump doing that because the governors are going to do that, because it becomes less. So the protests that are happening right now are still protests. They're still utilizing their First Amendment rights to protest. But once they become violent, okay, then they're no longer protests, they're riots. And then the governors of those states are going to call in their National Guard and handle it. The police thing, you have a valid concern with police and all that stuff, but one, the military already stated that they're going to have no hand in this election.
The election, yeah.
Okay. And so they plan on following the Constitution.
Right.
Two, I've worked a lot with law enforcement, and while I haven't worked with the people like, you know, the trashy law enforcement officers that we've seen, I do know that the majority of the ones that I personally know want to follow their oath as much as possible. They're not just going to go out of their way to cause violence and harm to people. It's going to be these loudmouth individuals that like I don't want to say QAnon people, but it's going to be like these people that are buying into not just that Donald Trump should have won, which he shouldn't have. Obviously, it's going to be the people that are even deeper into the morass. So I think the majority of the 73 million are just going to be pissed off and do the not my president bullshit for the next 4 years. But you're going to get like the militias and all that stuff that might want to act up. It won't be the first time.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And that's my, that's my opinion. I hope that I'm not wrong. I mean, I don't think that any, like out of all the people they want to fight for this turd. Like they could have picked anybody. They could have picked like so many other choices to put all their eggs in the basket on. They choose Donald. You're fired, Trump.
It is mind-boggling. And so I'm just going to say it. A lot of my followers on Twitter, they know that I'm petty. Sometimes I'll even post stuff and I'll be like, okay, yeah, I know it's petty, but right before we came on to record, I went on Twitter and I saw Donald Trump was losing followers and I was so happy. I know it's petty. I don't care because you know what? He cares about numbers. He's irritated. Sean is on Twitter more than Lydia. Sean, he's irritated. That man is aggravated right now, so that gives me a little bit of joy. So
it's a
sorry,
good
not
tactic.
sorry.
There was a racist guy named George Lincoln Rockwell Lincoln. I always get the three names mixed up, but anyway. One of the strategies that they used against him was silencing him in the media, because he like back in the 50s and 60s when he was like at his heyday, he was picking up an inordinate amount of followers, and so it was suggested that people stop inviting him onto their shows and things like that. And it'll diminish his popularity. And I think that's what's happening on Twitter. People are just like, F this guy. If I want to hear somebody whine, I'll go to a daycare.
Hey, and you guys, I just want to briefly talk about something that happened to me this morning. Last night I go to bed nice and happy, and I wake up this morning nice and kind of happy till I get my coffee. So go and get my coffee. And I go on Twitter, I say good morning and everything. And then I go to Facebook and I see two of my Facebook friends, they had written posts. The very first thing I see in my defense, because two Trump supporters were not happy about something that I posted on my personal page that I didn't ask anybody's opinion on.
Mm-hmm.
It's my page. And if you're white, how you gonna give me a history lesson on being Black?
Tell it.
So I'm over it. I promise. I wrote, as soon as I thanked those people for coming to my, for defending me, I wrote a post. I'm not playing anymore. I promise. The very next time a white racist individual comes for me, I am taking screenshots and I'm exposing the heck out of you everywhere.
Yeah.
On all of my platforms.
Yep.
I'm over it. Dude, you can't, if you want to, I don't care if you support Trump. I don't. Support who you want to support. Let me support Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in peace. I don't bother y'all.
Yeah.
So I was pissed off. So I just want to know how you guys feel about that.
I get it.
And I blocked them.
Good. I have a personal Facebook, and then I have my Indigenous Patriot stuff, and I prefer, if we're going to have some kind of, if you're going to talk to me about the things that are like what I do it on those. Because if you're going to talk to me on my personal page, then I'm going to take it personally.
But there's a difference between actually talking and having a conversation versus basically telling somebody you're wrong or that. Go ahead, Lydia.
No, I agree with you. There's, if they were coming, those people were coming onto your post.
They were ladies.
If they were trying to make a dialogue, have intelligent conversation, that's something else. But like you said, it was your post. You can do whatever you want on your page. They have no right to try to censor what you say or correct what you say. That is, if that's a discussion they want to have, they inbox you and try to set aside some time. Hey, look, I saw this. I just want to correct you on it. Blah blah blah. But people don't have decency. They hide behind the laptop or tablet or phone and just say whatever they want to say these days. And you know what? You're big and tough on social media, but in real life, you wouldn't say any of what you said to me.
Exactly.
You wouldn't.
Play with fire, you get burnt.
Exactly.
That's right.
That's right. Look, me and Lydia said that at the same time.
Yes. No.
Lydia is 100% right.
What?
100% right. It's that keyboard warrior nonsense.
Yeah.
They don't know they're messing with a veteran.
Hello. Right. But
that's
seriously,
right.
They don't know these real soldiers out here.
That's right.
Seriously.
Look at all the respect I give you.
Praise God.
Yeah.
Praise God, because if you not just wait.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I live too close to Vonda to be.
That's right.
Her.
I'll go and find it.
Driving through my front door.
Sean, what you say? No.
But you know what? You kid, but Vonda's about that life.
I am.
Vonda's about that life.
So am I.
I am.
I drove an hour away just to do some reconnaissance work for my friends. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 degrees of separation, but mine is more like 2 degrees.
Hey.
2 people for me to find out what I need to find out.
That's right.
So, yeah.
Yep. It's so easy to unfriend or unfollow. I recommend that they do that instead of trying to start things.
And I think that a lot of it is intentional. I'm so glad you went there, Sean. They're trying to bait you. I mean, I learned my lesson. Yeah, I've been to Twitter jail, but I learned my lesson. I definitely learned it the second time. And I got the warning from Facebook. So I don't do it. I don't engage anymore.
Wait a minute, you were censored and you're not a conservative?
Because
no.
they tricked me. Well, they tricked me. They baited me, and I went in. I fell for it. And I remember the first time. I remember exactly what I said to somebody that was trolling me. I said, you know what? I hope you get sick and choke on your vomit. That I didn't even like say a curse word. And I did, and I was like, oh my God. And so I know better now. So now I don't respond. I just block and move on, because
I've been baited. I got baited. Somebody said something like kind of threatening, but they didn't directly threaten me. And I talked about the AK-47 on my dresser. Got a warning.
All I'm saying is, if they have a problem, they need to just keep scrolling like a natural adult. Just keep it moving. If you don't like it, keep it moving. Hide the post. Do something else. You know how many times I have to hide posts of family members that I still haven't deleted yet?
That is hilarious.
Seriously, no.
Yep,
Keep it moving.
Exactly.
It's a waste of time.
Really.
Like, go read something instead of bothering me.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And you're not going to change their minds either.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Well, you know what? You know what? I would like to state this, okay? I have been in a conversation, like an ongoing conversation on Twitter in DMs with somebody that I originally started out on a thread, and it's a Trump supporter, okay? And they've been sending me videos and asking me my opinion and things like that. And it has been a very like civil conversation. It originally started not civilly out on Twitter proper.
Right.
But I kept it like facts, not any emotion. And then we moved it into an actual conversation, and the person actually kind of refers to me a little bit on some things now, and it's amazing. Awesome. I think that there's some kind of hope. It's like finding a unicorn in the wild.
Awesome.
That's good. That's good.
That is good.
Yeah.
But I believe that the person, the exception, not the rule.
Right, right.
No, so
the one.
Yeah.
Anyway. And you guys, I don't know. I was late getting this. I haven't even looked up the information I want to look up, but so you guys know about, they finally passed okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm happy that they passed something. Go ahead, Lydia.
You should say what they passed, since we both
we know. That is hilarious. Go ahead, Lydia.
Huh?
They passed the COVID relief, the COVID-19 relief bill.
Yep.
So, and I'm happy that something finally got done. One day this week, I can't remember which day it was, I was watching the news, and they said that more than 54 million Americans are facing a food crisis. That bothered me. And, you know, I know you guys, for the people that are going to watch this, you guys don't know me, but Lydia and Sean knows enough to know stuff like that. It literally bothers me.
Right.
I mean, this should not be, none of this it just should not be happening. It shouldn't be happening. And all these months, the American people haven't had any legitimate help due to no fault of their own. Come on. We're supposed to be better than that.
Right.
So I'm glad they got something passed, and I do wish that it was more than a $600 payment, but you know what? That's $600 that a lot of people would not have. So I'll let you guys weigh in.
You want to go first, Sean?
Okay. So it's $600 checks to adults and dependents in each household. It also provides $300 per week in extended unemployment benefits for 10 weeks. Because it's supposed to be a stopgap measure. It's supposed to get us through until hopefully the Democrats take the Senate, and then they can pass a more robust bill, or when Biden goes into office and maybe negotiates something. I don't really know how that's going to turn out. I think that sometimes they're just going to try to stymie him. But the main thing is that a lot of people that you see on social media are mad that it's not the $1,200 check that was passed with the CARES Act. I'm disappointed that it's not, but the other side of me is like, a week ago they were saying we aren't getting anything. So,
right.
And yes, that is a mind control kind of thing. Tell you you're not going to get anything so that you're happy with the small thing. Yeah. But I don't have time to play those games. You know what I mean? I don't have a direct effect on what they're going to do. So I'm going to take my $600.
Hey,
that's right. So for me, the biggest thing. Oh, wait, were you finished, sir?
I'm great.
Okay. So for me, the biggest thing is, like you said, the food crisis, the evictions that are about to happen.
Oh, God.
$600 is not going to help anybody who is really going to go through eviction. They're not. And Florida, where I live, is one of the worst states. And and the thing is, with them doing the extra $300 for the next 10 weeks, to me, that's a huge thing, because there are some people who didn't get fired or unemployed immediately, but now they're starting to do it because some of these places are closing. Like one of my daughters, she got let go because they didn't sell any pencils. She worked for Dixon Ticonderoga, so they didn't sell any pencils because of school, and you know how everything's been with school and everything. So they didn't sell what they needed to. So now at the end of this year, she's done. So there's people who like, after they tried to make it work, these companies try to make it work, they're now losing their jobs. And so they need that extra, boost. In Florida, you only get 12 weeks of unemployment, period. That's it. No extensions, no nothing. So the 10 weeks, that helps. So I just think right now, yes, it's not what ideal. It's not what we want or what we need, but it's not sufficient for that. But at this point, I was prepared to not get anything.
Gotcha.
So,
oh, wow. So we're all on the same page?
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Now we have to look forward to what happens after these 10 weeks are over.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be over that quickly.
No.
I mean, did you hear about the?
Oh, God.
Did you hear about the fact that they didn't count their doses correctly or something with the that the states are supposed to get for the vaccine?
No, what do you mean they didn't count them correctly?
Like, they said that they were going to send more to the states than what they actually sent.
Oh, I did hear about that.
Yeah.
They had a general that came on and threw himself on the sword to take the blame for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Real quick question. Did they say when the stimulus checks would make it to the people?
I did not see
I did not see that.
All I saw was that they were signing the bill. I did not see a time frame on it. So, I'm sure that they're going to stretch it out as far as that they can.
Right.
I want to ask y'all a question. Okay. I want to know if you could get the vaccine tomorrow, if you would. Who wants to go first?
So the polite part of me wants to say yes, and wants to say that that's what happened with polio and measles and all that stuff. But the other part of me says that generally when we are testing medications and things like that, we have a longer time to see what kind of side effects and whatnot that those medications come with them. I haven't done enough research to understand the possible side effects with this virus. So if it was tomorrow, I'm not really sure that I would take it. I'm not an anti-vaxxer by any means. I'm just an anti-bullshitter, so I have to kind of look further into it. I think they said out of 275,000 people that took it, there was like 6 side effects so far from like reactions so far, but don't quote my numbers, but I saw something along those lines.
Okay. Lydia?
I wouldn't. If it was available tomorrow, I wouldn't, and that's only because I would like to wait and see what the reactions were for people. I'm one of those people where all these other medicines work for other people, and for me, I have abnormal reactions to them. So for like metformin is a standard medicine that people get for diabetes. It made me suicidal. So for me, I'm trying to wait and see what some of the possible reactions are. I don't want to get it and then be just, all over the place, because that's how my body reacts to stuff. So I'm just trying to wait and see. So I'm waiting because the VA also said, hey, sign up and see if you wanted, we can put you in the order in the queue and stuff. And I'm like, I'll wait till you have to force me to do it.
Okay.
So, that's basically my mindset right now. Do I think it's the mark of the beast? No.
They're not injecting microchips and things like that. It's just medicate. Like I'm worried about medications, rushed medications. Yeah. Vonda?
No.
Go ahead, Vonda. No.
No, absolutely not. And yeah, when I got that email, I read it, but I was like, no. Nope, no thank you.
Yeah.
So, yep, I'll wait. All I have to say is the last time I received a mandatory shot was when we were in Okinawa at Kadena. No. See, so I'll just wait and see it's too soon. It is too soon. I'll wait and see how everybody else is impacted. And then, go ahead, Lydia. I'll remember what I was going to say.
No, go ahead. No.
I'm going off into another subject, but it kind of ties in. So although it hasn't happened here that we know of, because we know that Donald Trump did know about COVID-19 months before we did.
Right.
So I don't know that there's another variant here, but the mutation in the UK.
Yeah.
They don't know if the vaccine that is being given now, there's too much going on there.
What they do know is that the mutated virus seems to be have a higher infection rate.
Yes.
Yes. Virulent. I don't know how to say that word. Virulent. Virulent.
Virulent. Yeah, what I was going to say is I had spoke with 2 veterans earlier because I was waiting. So we were sitting around waiting. I was talking to 2 different veterans, and they're like,
Lydia froze.
All kinds of stuff shot into my,
You froze. You froze.
Really?
I was talking to people and they were like,
yeah, and you froze.
Yeah. I'm sorry. So, but I was saying that we were talking and we're like, we've gotten so many shots while we were in the military. We could have anything in us right now. Like, seriously. So, I mean, and most people, the general public, have had all kinds of vaccinations. I mean, I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but I do believe that some vaccinations are responsible for certain things.
Yeah.
But the thing is that we could have anything in us. Mercury, we could have anything. So, to just basically say, no, I'm never going to get this because of, it's ridiculous. But, the truth is I got to see what the reactions are.
Exactly. Exactly. And you know what, Lydia? And I'm thankful now I'm thankful that we have that option.
Mhm.
I'm thankful that we no longer have to stand in a line and
Yeah, exactly.
that, yeah. So I'm
Well,
glad that we have an option. Yep.
so
So
anyway.
did you guys want to say anything else before we wrap it up?
No, I'm good.
Everybody be good to your neighbors
Which
or
one?
ignore them.
I'm just playing myself. Yes, be kind to your neighbors. And I want to give a shout out. I have not done this in a while. And if there's anybody that you guys want to shout out, please do it. But there is the dopest guy. He calls me his big sis, and I call him my little bro. His name is Tromonte. He has his own podcast, YouTube channel, Tromonte and Friends. He's been on once. You guys, I'm gonna put the link to his YouTube channel. It'll be in the description of this episode. But this dude has a gift for getting people to talk and to spill tea. I don't know how he does it. I don't. I'm gonna be going on his show sometime in January or February. I told him I'm scared, and he like laughs. You guys, I'm genuinely scared. But this dude, he has a natural talent for getting people to talk about things and to answer questions that you would not normally answer or discuss. So he is awesome. He's a lot like us. Nothing is off the table. Tremonte will talk about anything. He will discuss anything, and he keeps it real, very down to earth. So I love him. Young, intelligent Black man. You guys got to check him out. You got to check out his podcast. He
He just
awesome.
had his mom on there.
Yes, and that. I'll just say that was real. They apologized to each other at the end. It was, he's awesome. So you guys got to check him out. You got to check out his YouTube channel. So trying to send a lot of support and love your way, Tromonte. So did you guys have anybody that you wanted to plug, shout out, suggest, I follow, anything like that?
I'm just gonna say that I'm gonna thank a new follower that I have. Her name is @Ms. News. It's MZNEWZZ. And the reason why I'm shouting her out is because you know that I do that that new fake news series that I have. She asked me if she could incorporate it into her classes. She does some classes, and she wants to know if she could play my video for her students. And that's like the first time anybody's ever said something about the stuff that I do. So thank you. I appreciate
awesome.
it.
That is awesome. Make sure. Yeah, if I'm not already following her, I want to follow her.
Yes.
So is that on Twitter?
Yes.
Gotcha. All right. With that being said, we'll do a quick round table. So Sean, let everybody know where they can find you at and all that good stuff.
So I have a wonderful Facebook page called An Indigenous Patriot. I am also, if you look up Indigenous Patriot on YouTube, Instagram, and of course Twitter, you'll also come across me.
Awesome. Lydia?
So I am primarily on Facebook, but you can reach me at justlydia111 on all social media platforms. Also, if you'd like to purchase anything of our merchandise, just go on to ojusttalk.net and we'll be able to take care of that.
Awesome. And I am Vonda. You can find me at ojusttalk or Ovonda, OHVONDA, on all social media platforms. And before we wrap up, I want everybody to have the best holiday ever. Please stay safe, social distance, wear your mask, only go out if you absolutely have to go out. I want everybody that sees this to make it to 2021. Remember, the comeback is always greater than the setback. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys soon.
Well, one sec. Can we see the hat? Can we see the hat?
Oh, that's my pig hat.
Oh yeah, look at that. That is a cute little
And
hat.
you know what? This is one of my favorite hats. It's perfect. It's not heavy. It's thick. My head is warm, especially since I'm in a cold state. I used to wear this in Florida, believe it or not. I have a thing for hats. So I love it. Who knows what hat I'll be wearing on the next segment.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, y'all.
Only she knows.
That's right. Oh, and if you like this, please hit the subscribe button. Leave us some comments. If you guys have something you want us to talk about, don't be shy. Just hit either one of us up and let us know. So stay safe. Bye, Lydia. Bye, Shoutout.